Hey there everybody, welcome to this one. It's going to be about how to make ladders. This is only one way of making ladders. I had looked into cutting them as well, but I decided ultimately for me, for the purposes of what I'm doing in a moment, I'm going to make ladders like this. Now these ladders are going to be made out of alight. This is because these ones are going on my habitation block. So what I've done is I've just cut slivers. 2mm thick, but if you cut a 2mm line, yeah, you end up with a sort of 1mm, 2mm. So there's some variation in the depth of the material. It's been given a light sanding, and then just using a biro, in this case a blue biro, I've just marked 10mm intervals. These are 120mm. Now, if you think about it, 10mm in the 28mm scale is what? It's about 2 foot. So in real life these ladders would be ridiculously gigantic, but for the purposes of gaming it's perfectly fine. Also, I've cut out the 10 rungs. It's cut from the same slithers, and it's just going to be orientation. I mean, some of this is about 1mm thick, and the important thing about a ladder is it doesn't have to hold a miniature ever. You could make ladders that hold miniatures. You would possibly go insane in the process. So I'm just gonna kind of try and keep my hand out. Also, if you didn't know, the blue biro on my finger is just because the pen didn't want to work, and that is the best way to make a biro work, is to scribble it on yourself until it starts making a mark, and that works better than scribbling it on any other form of material. Like most things, if you do it to yourself, it works best. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting glue onto one rail first. I'm just going to hold it in place. I'm just going to put a blob of glue for several rungs. Solid. I'm just going to do all of them, in fact. This might not be the best idea because, well, if the glue sets before you finish putting in the pieces, then the glue sets before you finish putting in the pieces. I do have a rough side on some of these, so there is an up and a down to my ladders. I'm just positioning it approximately at approximately 90 degrees. As you can imagine, I don't know how long it's taken to cut out all these pieces. I didn't check the time when I first started doing it. And also I have cut out enough pieces for 12 ladders, and there's 10 rungs on each ladder, so I have cut out 120 rungs and 24 verticals, and yeah, time and patience. Now, the other thing you might notice is that these don't exactly, strictly speaking, line up, but I don't think that's going to be a problem, because fortunately this material is quite happy to move about a bit. Also, when it comes to it, these ladders are going to be stuck to walls, and when they get stuck to walls, that'll straighten them out. Now, like I said, the other way of doing this would be to cut out the pieces, but if you've actually done any cutting, it would actually take 3 or 4 times as long to actually cut out each individual space. The other way you can do it is by etching. I'll do a video at some point where I just etch a ladder, but etching will lead to you'll need to paint it in a way to emphasise the depth. Apparently I needed 11 rungs. Okay, so I'm going to have to cut out a whole load more rungs. Fortunately I did cut a couple of extras. This is a good thing. I have spares. So I'm going to finish sticking this, I'll let it dry, and then I'll just show you attaching the other side of the ladder on. Catch you in a second. Okay, I'm going to let this glue set. At this point I'm just going to grab my steel rule and I'm actually going to rest it on, and I'm going to use the weight of that to hold the rungs of the ladder down, even just pressing down a bit. That'll allow me to match this side up and get it in place. So again, just going to apply glue, but this time I'm just applying glue on the leading edges, because I don't want to stick this to my mat, because if you stick this to your mat you are liable to wreck the entire ladder taking it off. Now here's the other thing, this is about doing it on the cheap, right? This is like off-cut, this is all cut from off-cuts as well, which means it took a little bit longer to cut. If you want to do this quickly, go and buy a toy set which has ladders in it, or find a model railway set that has ladders and use the model railway ladders. It'll be easier and quicker, but it requires some element of money. I'm just using a biro to push these in. It doesn't really matter what you use, you just want to push and hold in place. As long as you're fairly firm, and you want to hold this probably for about 30 seconds or so. And that should be enough to secure it. Also holding like this, it keeps it flush. This is something else that's really nice about Alight as well actually. Even cutting these fine slithers, there is a slight bit of warping. But for the most part the material really does want to lie flat. And that's a fantastic quality, because if you were cutting bits of plastic card or what have you, or styrene, is it hard form styrene in America they call it? It would actually warp quite considerably, and you'd end up with these kind of bent out of shape bits of plastic which never want to go flush again. So now if I let that go, and I know it's not totally straight, but there's your ladder, good to go. Okay, so enjoy your modelling, take care everybody, have a good one. I'll catch you next time, bye bye.